Hello everyone and welcome to our weather update on June 23rd, 2025. So this morning, as you can see, we have a quite cloudy start to the day, and this cloud is coming in on a westerly winds, and therefore we know that the warm spell from last week has indeed broken down. The cold front dividing that warm air mass and the cooler air mass that has now moved in is marked by these storms now through Germany, Czechia, and up into Poland as well. And those are some quite lively storms. So here's the UKV high-risk forecast then. So as I said this morning, we do have quite a bit of cloud pushing in to us there. Through the morning though, we'll see cloud increasing further, and a few light showers will push in towards the north at times. However, in the afternoon, more general, extensive cloud will push in from the west, and that will be followed in the evening by some patchy light rain on the west coast. This rain overnight will push into more northern areas like Connacht and Ulster, and rain will turn heavier and more persistent as well. Into Tuesday morning, we see some drips and drabs of rain in through the west and north of the country, otherwise largely dry. Tuesday afternoon, a few showers may spark off in the sunshine in parts of the northeast, otherwise dry, cloudy, and some dry and cloudy apart from some drizzle, especially on the west coast there. With this, it will also be quite humid. Into Wednesday morning, it starts off quite cloudy, some light showers around, but through the evening, we see a heavier area of rain pushing in. There is some uncertainty about this area of rain regarding how intense it will be, so please do stay in touch with us to firm up on those details. Also, on Wednesday, I think that the UK will get a brief 12-hour window where the temperatures do rise. There'll be a bit of imported heat from the continent there, and that will allow some storms possibly to kick off here through Wednesday evening and Thursday morning. So that's also something that has to be watched. Into Thursday itself. Thursday for Ireland anyway, it starts off quite cloudy but quite dry, apart from some showers. But then more widespread rain does push in through the evening from the west. Friday starts off quite fair, but once again, cloud moves in and some patchy rain moves in towards the southwest by evening. So it's definitely a mixed bag, but as you saw, some dry spells will be in there as well. And also, you'll see that temperatures won't be too bad either. So, starting off this morning, we can see that lowest temperatures last night were around 11 to 13 degrees, so much cooler and fresher nights than of late. Into Monday itself, that's today, we'll see highest temperatures of 17 to 19 degrees, and that is warmest in the south and east, with possibly a localised 20 degrees there in parts of Waterford and Dublin. Into Monday evening, temperatures were lower overnight, as you'd know, with lows of around 13 to 16 Celsius, a bit milder in the south. That's due to a warm sector moving in. Into Tuesday then, we see highest temperatures of around, say, 15 to 20 degrees, again warmest in the south and east, due to the fact that the west and north are now more exposed to that westerly flow. Obviously, I think it was on Friday, parts of the west and north in Connacht and so on, they saw a high of 29 degrees, while in the south and east it was only like 23. So obviously that was because on Friday we had a southerly southeasterly flow, so therefore the south and east were more exposed to the flow and therefore cooler. Now westerly flow, so again that maritime influence is into the west and north now, so therefore they'll be cooler while the south and east get the warmest temperatures. So moving into the evening, temperatures were lower, and by Wednesday morning we got lows a bit cooler of 12 to 14 Celsius. Wednesday itself, quite a nice day, highs of 15 to 20 degrees. And overnight in Thursday, quite a warm morning. Thursday, not warm, quite mild anyway. And into Thursday afternoon, bit cooler with more cloud and rain in the mid to high teens. Friday morning, a bit cooler, lows of 10 to 13. Jesus Christ. Lows of 10 to 13 degrees. There we go. And that is because we have more clear spells following a cold front there on Thursday afternoon. And Friday itself, we got highs of 15 to 21 degrees. Quite a nice day. But do remember, of course, that we do have that rain pushing in towards the southeast, towards the southwest, getting all fumbled up now in the afternoon. Anyway, moving on to the GFS midnight run, we can see that we're now back into that westerly airflow with that low to the north and the high to the south, and a flat westerly winds. Flat as a pancake. We got that Atlantic dominance. Into Monday and Tuesday, we do have that westerly wind. We do continue that westerly wind, but upper air temperatures are not that cold. So it'll be quite humid, and in sunshine it will feel quite decent, although sunshine will be limited. A lot of cloud and some patchy rain. Wednesday starts off fair, that brief little ridge there, and through the afternoon we do see that trough moving in, and that might bring quite a heavy pulse of rain through, although this isn't really showing that quite nicely. So as I said, GFS, so some models have that rain not too heavy, but others bring it quite heavily through, you know what I mean? But the GFS is one of those that doesn't have it too intense. You can see there a few storms possibly into the southeast there of the UK, so that needs watching. Upper air temperatures show that brief little warm, that warm wedge just edging into Kent there. Just something marginal that might just trigger some storms that needs to be watched. Into the end of the week, we bring up that long fetch southwesterly airflow. So yes, while it's going to be cloudy, damp, humid, it's going to be warm as well, but not too nice with that air, that moisture laden air. Into the weekends, GFS builds up that slight ridge there, so that would bring quite a nice weekend, I think. No, actually, there's still some drizzle. Oh god. But maybe Sunday in the south could be quite nice, at least. Upper temperatures by then are, they're warm. But that's short-lived if it does come through. All these ads, goodness. But that will be short-lived if it does come through, because we're back into a westerly flow by next Monday. Start of July looks westerly. It just looks westerly. Bit warm at times, yes, but on the whole, it is going to be changeable. Until July 9th, we've got that slight ridge building in, but there's a lot of energy towards the west and north, and that could easily be dislodged and shunted away to the east, like it always does. Here's the ECM. So the ECM, once again, today is westerly. Could be warm and sunshine, but quite dry. Tuesday, same sort of story. Wednesday starts off quite nice, but in comes that deep trough there. Uncertainty regarding how intense it'll be. You can see again that brief little nose of heat there. That might just edge into the UK, and that might just help the storms trigger off. Anyway, so by next Friday, back into that long fetch southwesterly airflow. Next Saturday, probably going to be quite wet with that, I'm assuming, because you've got that trough coming through the country. Next Sunday, probably a warm front coming through, and then that deep low comes through next Monday. Start of July, we end up with this high pressure starting to ridge in from the southwest. It stays to our west, and actually it doesn't really ridge in, it just goes away and allows for this deep low to come in. So it could be better, I guess. UK Met Run. So it's a shame, because the high pressure is never really that far away from us. It's just that there's too much low pressure to our west and north that will just keep it suppressed to our south. So here's the UK Met Run. UK Met once again, so we got this westerly wind today and tomorrow. Quite cloudy, but not too wet. Away from the north tonight, should I say. And then into Wednesday, Thursday, we got this low coming through, this deep trough. The chart isn't working, so we can't see how heavy that is. Into Friday, we look very wet on Friday, and it says wet into the weekend until next Sunday and Monday. Now, this looks better if you want a spell of at least short-lived warm and dry weather, because we have that high pressure over us into our east. That lower has been, at that point anyway, deflected towards the northwest. It's far away from us, but it is quite a deep low, so if you were to run into the start of July with this, you'd probably expect that low to break down that high pressure system. But that does provide Sunday afternoon and probably Monday of some quite decent weather. Upper temperatures are warm. So here's the icon run. The icon, once again, same sort of story. Today's quite cloudy and westerly. Tomorrow, cloudy, a bit damp, again westerly. Quite humid at the same time. Wednesday, in comes this deep trough. Let's see how intense that is. Yeah, so you can see the icon does have some quite heavy rain with this, so that's something to watch. It does look quite nasty on the outer bars, put it that way. Into Thursday, quite showery, I think. And then Friday, we go into the strong southwesterly flow. Plenty of rain into the west and north, I'm going to assume. Yeah, no, actually, yes, but also especially the south. And into the weekend, we go into, so next Saturday looks a bit wet, if we're being honest. Sunday looks drier, that brief ridge of high pressure, but then next Monday looks to be back into a more unsettled pattern. Yeah, so if you compare next Monday at midnight with the icon, with the UK Met next Monday at midnight, there we go. You can see UK Met, as we said, high pressure over us into our east, centred towards the UK and North Sea. That lowers west to the west near Iceland. The icon, though, has the same pattern, but everything's shunted about, I don't know, 500 miles eastwards. I don't know, but I think that's just a guess. Either way, that would result in the high being over Central Europe and the low much closer to us. And even though temperatures might rise, it stays deluge-like. Okay, yeah. So there's a difference there. Here's the GEM. GEM, as we know, has had a big tendency to try and exaggerate this warm and dry weather. So let's see if it's going with that again. So GEM, once again, westerly winds today, tomorrow. But damp at times, but cloudy, but in sunshine, it will feel quite decent. Into Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday starts off quite decent, but ends up quite wet. Let's see how the GEM has the rainfall. Yeah, GEM has quite a big spell of rain coming through there on Wednesday evening. And the storms in the UK do kick off, and they might even merge over parts of central and eastern England there by in the early hours of Thursday morning, as those storms merge with the rain, create a big watch of deluge. Into Thursday, Friday, again go into that southwesterly flow, a lot of rain. I won't say the north and west now exclusively after seeing that chart earlier. Probably going to be everywhere. Going to be quite a damp, soggy, wet day. Not so nice. Saturday, going to be quite a nice day. That brief little ridge. Yeah. So I think that is, while the south and east may see a nice day on Sunday, overall that remains in the influence of low pressure. Actually, I'm not sure even that will come to fruition, because all areas look a bit damp on Sunday, so I take my words back. But the UK on Sunday, yeah. I feel like the UK, through, since mid-June, even now, despite the breakdown of the weather, parts of central and eastern UK, we'll see every day between June 15th and 30th, the end of the month, into, at least the low 20 Celsius. So if you're in parts of, the UK, as I said now, despite the breakdown, you guys are faring quite well. Finally, we have the arpège run before we run out of time. The arpège, once again, deluge through Wednesday evening. Deluge, yes. and we ended up just westerly. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.